we're now in the second week of May. Mother's Day is coming up. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Now, today, this is supposed to be delivery week. My delivery is on its way, but of the making of this video, I have yet to arrive. Unfortunately, this is the opportunity I have this week to make this video so it can upload on time. Now, from the club this month, we were supposed to get a Glen grant. Now, for the last few months, the club has been holding ballots for the ability to buy a limited edition Lagavulin, Nick Offerman edition 3 charred oak. And I put my name down in the ballot, and I didn't really expect to win, but lo and behold, this month I've won the last ballot, and I unfortunately could not afford 2 whiskies this month, so I chose the Lagavulin. So I'm really looking excited to trying that out. So yeah, definitely tune in for next week. And what a wonderful time for another wonderful peated Scotch to arrive as we're doing our peat comparisons. So today I thought we might try the Lagavulin 11-year-old Nick Offerman edition 2. This one was done in the Guinness cask. Glenfiddich's Fire and Cane. And I thought for a bit of a lark, we might try the Connemara. That's a lovely peated Irish whiskey. It's the only peated Irish whiskey. So, without further ado, let's start with the Fire and Cane. Now, I'm going to go very light on this one because I do not have much left, and I want to keep some for if this wins out on the peats, or when I do my Glenfiddich comparisons when I can get my hands on a 12-year-old. So, a lovely golden colour. Can't say anything all that. Now it has a very nice, very subtle, almost campfire-like smell. It's not as heavy as you would get in a Islay or an Orkney Scotch. It's nice, it's subtle. There's some nice crisp citrus notes to the smell. Apples maybe. Okay, this has a nice spice. A very light smoky flavour. I'm trying to remember if Mel liked this one. Now, Mel does not normally like the peats, so I'm going to go with you probably didn't. But this is nice. It's kind of subtle. There's definitely some nice toffee notes to this one. Like I said, the apples, particularly it's like Granny Smith apples. Yeah, a nice light smokiness that goes through it, and quite a nice little bit of spice to it. So yeah, that's the Fire and Cane. Now we'll try the Connemara. So like I said, this is the only Irish peated they still make. So again, a nice typical golden colour. That's on basically on par with the Glenfiddich. Maybe a tiny smidgen darker. Okay, so the smokiness is not really present in the smell. Okay, a little bit. It's very subtle there. This otherwise is very sweet. It's like honeyed and flowers. Yeah, like a honeyed floral sort of smell. Okay, yep, very sweet, florally, hint of wood. The peat, I know it's there. I can just sort of taste it, but it's very subtle. It's very pushed back. I did not like this one. I'm going to have to go back and check my videos. I think this might have been one Mel liked. It's not very heavy at all. It's very not noticeable. Yeah. And of course, the piece de resistance, the Lagavulin Guinness cask. So again, I'm going to have to go a little sparingly on this one as well, because I want to keep this one. I want to compare it to the one next week. I won't be comparing them side by side next week, but you know, at some point, maybe you might even come up to head up in the peat off. Don't want to do that in the peat comparisons. Okay, so your typical golden colour for a whiskey, not very dark. Again, the smoky smell is rather subtle in this one. I don't recall it being that subtle, but it's got a nice caramel smell to it. Oh no, but the peat's there in the taste. Oh god. Okay, the smokiness is really intense in the tasting. You don't. It's not there in the nose, but it's really strong. It's really nice, and then it's coupled with this caramel and almost like chocolate-like flavour, and that would be the influence of the Guinness. Oh, now I want a Guinness. Anyway, yeah. Okay, so 3 very different whiskies. We got one from Ireland. We got one from the Speyside. And of course we have the Islay. Again, obviously the Islay wins out in the terms of the heavy, smoky flavour. Glenfiddich, again, crisp apple. The citrus, you know, they just can't go wrong with a whiskey. And the Irish, it's great. But this is a peat comparison. Therefore, the peatiest wins. Lagavulin. So at some point it'll be Lagavulin squaring off with the Smokehead. I'm going to check my others around here, see what else I've got that is peated. So yeah, there might be a couple more before we get to the final countdown. But yeah, so I'm going to finish off this Lagavulin. I'm going to include the link to the trailer that was made for the club made for the, well, I don't know if the club made it, but the club, it's on the club's YouTube site, for the Lagavulin 11, so you'll see why the Nick Offerman edition 3, why I'm so excited to try it. Yeah, so until next week, Sauté.